Hello, this is Brian Ray with Mythic MTG Tech doing a pack crackening for Gatecrash. Let's look at a little bit of the history of Gatecrash. Gatecrash is the most recent set to have come out. It is an extremely large print run. In talking to all of the stores that I've talked to locally, they ordered large amounts of it, and the sales of it were less than they had expected, at least not as much as from RTR. When we get to older sets, we're actually going to be able to look at what those print runs were, but for a while we just have some guesses from what either retailers have said or what other insiders have mentioned. This is printed in lots of languages. There are 249 cards, and they're definitely foils. The size of the set breaks down into 101 commons, 80 uncommons, 53 rares, and 15 mythic rares. The cost is retail about $3.99 a pack and $143 per box, although it's pretty easy to find them floating around for $2.99 to $3.50 a pack and somewhere between $90 and $105 a pack. Several promos were put together for this set. My favorite happens to be the Fire Main Avenger. The artwork on this is incredible. I wish the card was a little bit better than it was. I had high hopes for this card, and the lack of haste in a forecaster definitely limited its impact in play, but the artwork is just amazing on the card. The symbol for Gatecrash appears to just be a gate, unless I'm missing something really clever in there. There are two Planeswalkers in this set, Gideon, Champion of Justice, and Domraid. Gideon is an EDH favorite, at least among the people that I play with. Outside of that, not very playable overall. This is not as powerful as the earlier Gideons. The lack of ability to really protect himself makes him a little bit weak. I also don't like that he's missing a way to remove creatures from the board right away. Domraid, on the other hand, is actually seeing some play in Standard, in Modern, and in Legacy even. Domraid has this wonderful Howling Mind type ability that if you've got a super heavy creature deck, and Magic is really pushing people towards creatures, you can reveal the top card of your deck and put it in your hand if it's a creature. The -2 ability is wonderful. It's exactly what you want on a low casting cost Planeswalker because it allows you to protect him, and the -7 is a almost win the game ability, but a very, very strong ability. I love Domraid, not too impressed with Gideon. The most entertaining card for just playing lottery type games is Unexpected Results. The shuffling up of your library and revealing a card and putting it directly into play or paying it without its mana cost is pretty amazing. It makes for some really fun board states. I like this card in EDH specifically. The best foil in the set is by far Godless Shrine. This picture does not do it justice, although it's tough to get a good picture of a Godless Shrine. The Godless Shrine in this set looks so much better than even the original one. The foil just shines. It is incredible. My personal favorite card is Blind Obedience. It's not seeing a lot of play at this point. I love it in EDH. Extort is a wonderful way to pick up a few extra points of life and not offend the whole table unless you're extorting from 5 or 6 different sources every time you cast something. But where this card really shines, and where I like it right now, is in red, white, blue tempo. The ability to stop your opponent from blocking, even having creatures at 4 or 5 casting costs come into play tapped, is incredible. And when you take this card and combine it with things like Searing Spheres or Boros Charms, you're hitting for 4 or 5 damage each time. You can do a lot of damage with a Blind Obedience in play, and it lets you eke out some really close games. Love this card overall. Works really well with Unsummon, really well with Azorius Charm. Just beautiful. The best cards in the set, according to the community at large, these are still under debate. As I get into the older sets, the these are going to be decided on. Boros Charm is pretty incredible. Its ability to stop board wipes is great, and the 4 damage is wonderful. Prime Speaker Zagana is also starting to see some play, and as the environment slows down with sets rotating out, I'm sure that Prime Speaker will even see more play. Obsidat is also seeing some play, although I love the way that Blind Obedience shuts down Obsidat. Boros Reckoner was the early favorite, as it jumped up to as high as $25, $30 early on, and is still seeing some play. There's a lot of answers to Boros Reckoner in the current environment, but if people don't play them, he just dominates the board. I like him overall. He adds for a lot of interesting mathematical combat situations, and even a few broken semi-combo situations with things like Harvest Pyre and Blasphemous Act. Thespian Stage is also another really nice card. I think that it's going to be a favorite in EDH for years to come. The fact that it doesn't come into play tapped is extremely nice, and it even acts as a removal in several situations where your opponent's playing abusive legendary lands. The other best cards that I really have to mention, although they didn't originally come from these sets, are the Shocklands. This set would not be anywhere near as popular as it is if the Shocklands were not in it, and they're what is starting to make Modern more accessible to players overall. These cards are extremely useful. They make the color really good in Standard, very easy to play multicolored decks. Very easy to play them also in Modern. Gatecrash comes with several different types of wax. There are starter decks, there are dual decks or event decks, there's your traditional booster packs, and there's also fat packs. Fat packs have 9 packs, and as we get into the history of fat packs, as we go backwards through time here, you're going to see how these have evolved. The fat packs currently, though, are also the best way to get basic land. If you're a new player, I strongly recommend picking up fat packs. The deal on them is you get 9 packs. They retail at about $35 to $40, and you get enough land to actually start to build some decks, play some limited games out of them. You also get a life counter and this booklet that goes over the set. Wonderful intro way to play. The event decks, I would only go after if there's specific cards that you want or you need a deck for a specific tournament. They are playable directly out of the box, and some of them actually aren't too bad. The Boros event deck is actually pretty good. Booster boxes are the most popular form of wax, as they give you the best money for rares ratio and are really a shot at foils. There's also these really interesting boxes that were used for the pre-releases, and apparently some stores didn't sell out of their pre-releases, or maybe they bought them on the secondary market. But these have a guild-specific pack inside them and 5 regular packs. That guild-specific pack, we're not sure what the rarity looks like on it, but it does guaranteeably have one of the pre-release cards, which you were able to use in the pre-releases. They also have these wonderful stickers. I am missing one of these stickers. It happens to be the Boros sticker. If anybody has one of the Boros stickers, please feel free to send me a message, and I'd love to trade for it. Outside of that, there's also a really nice spin-down die. The spin-down die is supposed to correspond with the guild, although they seem to be pretty mixed up from my experience in opening them. This set focuses on 5 guilds: Boros, Simic, Gruul, Dimir, and Orzhov. It has the keywords and the mechanics from those guilds, and mostly cards from those guilds. So if you're interested in those guilds, this is a great set to pick up for that red-white, that blue-green, red-green, blue-black, or black-white. And honestly, the cards are best in Boros and in Orzhov, although Simic has some high points and Gruul has 1 or 2 also. The Dimir cards are extremely underwhelming. As a Dimir player, I was rather disappointed with the Cipher mechanic. Now that you've got the basics around the set, let's move on to some pack crackening. Hey, this is Brian Morrow, and I'm ready to start pack crackening. I'm starting with Gatecrash, which is the most recent set to come out. And I'm going to start off with 3 packs of Gatecrash. Let's see what we get here. Oh. Night Watch, Gutter Skulk, Disciple of the Old Ways, Arc Shatter, Bioshift. What do we got here? Grizzly Spectacle, which I actually really like in Limited, even though it's too black. Razor Whip, Furious Resistance, Keystone Rogue, Death's Approach. So we're getting into the uncommons now. Mental Vapors. Ooh, Gruul Charm. Gruul Charm's really good. And we've got Incursion Specialist, and then the rare. Ooh, Aurelius Fury. That's not bad. A mythic. I actually chose this as one of the top mythics from Gatecrash. It has unfortunately underperformed at this point, but I still have a lot of hope for it. And then a rules card and a land. That's actually not a bad pack at all. If I was drafting this in Limited, I would definitely pick the Aurelius Fury. Anything that's a fireball is incredible to start with, and the ability to tap down a bunch of your opponent's creatures and get through for damage is really good. Without the mythic, I really like Grizzly Spectacle as removal. It's tough for what other top picks are here. I'd probably go with the Grizzly Spectacle as the number 2 pick here. I got 2 more packs here. But Aurelius Fury is a great way to start this series off. Okay, pack number 2. And on most of these I'm only going to be doing 1 pack. I'm doing a 3 here, just for fun. Scornwalker, Daring Skyjet, Purge the Profane, Psychic Strike, Boros Guildgate. Now, a lot of people when playing Limited want to know how early to pick these gates. The gates are common and they are extremely useful. I usually end up picking them about pass 4 or pass 5 in drafts. Once I'm sure that I'm in a particular set of colors, I also look for them a lot in pack 2 and pack 3. So we got Corpse Beckon, Burst of Strength. Burst of Strength is a bit of a combat trick in being able to put a +1/+1 counter on a creature and untap. I actually kind of like it as a combat trick. Prismatic Prism. Oh, Arrows of Justice. Arrows of Justice is actually really nice. At 4 damage, it's very good removal. Got Serene Remembrance. Homing Lightning. Ooh, another Guild Gate. So we've got 2 Guild Gates in this. And we've got a foil Last Stand in the rare spot.
That was a Godless Shrine.
Ah! How did I miss that? It's a Godless Shrine. Godless Shrine is beautiful. That's a great second card. Not something I would actually pick in Limited. Although, I think in Limited I may actually go for the Arrows of Justice since it's so flexible. Yeah, Godless Shrine is really good though. I'm very happy with these packs so far. If all the packs are this good, I will actually do better than the cost of the packs, which is insanely unusual because picking up packs is usually bad. I've got a 3rd pack here. Night Watch. Contaminated Ground. Greenside Watcher. Way of the Thief. Ooh, Knight's Pet. This is actually one that I really like in Limited. 3 casting cost for a 3/3 or for a 2/2 flyer is actually really good. And Extort is extremely nice, especially if you're playing the slower control deck. Mortis Strider. Savage Road Demise. Act of Treason. Act of Treason is an incredible card. It's not that flexible. You don't play it in control decks, but when you're playing the beatdown aggro deck, this is the card you want. This is the card that puts you over the top and allows you to win quickly. Blustered Spy, Shield Passage, Zorham Guildmage, Mark of Death. Getting into the uncommons here. Fortress Cyclops, Spectacular Primordial. So, this is a clear rare that appears to have an amazing ability. That when he comes into play, you can bring something back from your opponent's graveyard or yours. I'm actually not that impressed with the card overall, mostly because it's a 5/4 with a 7 casting cost. I like the green Primordial a lot better. Now we got a land, and we've got a very nice horror token. Excellent. So this is not a bad pack. I mean, the rare was kind of a miss there, but between Godless Shrine and Aurelius Fury, I'm doing really well so far. I also think that once the sets rotate, Aurelius Fury is going to be a little bit stronger. And I'm always happy to have another shock land. And this being the first of the pack Crackening videos, I've actually picked up a Gatecrash Fat Pack. I don't normally pick up Fat Packs because I'm not that interested in basic lands or spin down dice, but I thought it would be fun. Card Kingdom had a really good deal on these, running them at about $30 a piece the other day, so I picked one up for this video, and let's see if we can top the Godless Shrine and the Aurelius Fury. Sharp. Oh no, it started to open up. So the Fat Packs come with a book that describes all of the cards from the set. I really recommend these for new players. When I was playing, Magic used to print encyclopedias, and I owned the first 2 volumes of the encyclopedia that had every single card that was available. Even though I couldn't afford many cards at the time, I would read through that as a kid and memorize every single card that was available and then make them proxies out of land. I really like this printing a list of cards, especially for new players. What else we've got here? Some giant pieces of cardboard to make it look more full. I think they get that from potato chip companies that fill potato chips with air. 2 little deck boxes in here. Those are nice. We've got one with Gideon and one with Aurelia. And then we've got 2 separate groups of packs here. Well, I think spin downs are better than land, so I'm going to open the land first and then move on to this group with the spin down. The reason I really recommend these for new players is that they've got a significantly large amount of land. This is really the only way to pick up land. Several years ago they used to print starter decks or sealed decks that also came with a big size chunk of land, but this is really the only way outside of a deck builder's kit to pick up land, and this has just a nice large group of randomly assorted land. Then we've got 4 packs here, each with different covers to them. Bioshift Madcap Skills. Now this is a common that I actually really like to see in Limited. If you're going to play the aggressive deck, this is just incredible. +3/+0 is really nice, and it forces your creature to be blocked by 2 creatures. I like this card overall. It's not for every deck. It's definitely not for controller mid-range decks. If you pick this card up early, you are the aggro deck. For the rare, Lord of the Void, Flying, whenever Lord of the Void deals combat damage to a player, exile the top 10 cards of that player's library. Top 7 cards of that player's library. Then put a creature card from among them into the battlefield and play under you. So it's an amazing ability. We've got a mythic here. It's a 7/7, but it's also 7 casting cost. I'm actually not that impressed with this card. Unless I was already in black or black-white, I probably would actually avoid him. The games are pretty quick in Gatecrash, and they're going to be pretty quick in the 3 booster pack drafts also. Ember Beast, we've got a Guildgate here, Wildwood Rebirth, and then Boros Charm. This card is just amazing. I'm currently playing it in Standard. It's great against board wipes. It's nice to have the double strike occasionally. The 4 damage is wonderful, especially when you can Snapcaster Mage it back. This would definitely be my top pick in a limited environment so far. Crackling Permatear. Smog Elemental. Now, Smog Elemental's got some amazing artwork on him. Unfortunately, he's rubbish. 6 casting costs for a 3/3 flyer. Even if he kills some of your opponent's small stuff, is not that good. Spark Troopers. I so want this card to be good. I played a lot of games with Ball Lightning, and Ball Lightning was so good. Adding 1 more to the casting cost is not so good for this creature. I would definitely play him in a really aggressive Boros limited deck, but he's not seeing any play in Standard at all. And that's a good thing. Next pack here. This is the last of the land. It's not that good. Ooh, Hellkite Tyrant. We're doing pretty well on the Mythics. Although this has to be the worst of the Mythics. At least for Limited and for Standard. The only place this guy shines is EDH, where everybody plays a Soul Ring, and he should just basically say attack and steal your opponent's Soul Ring. If you build a deck around him, like a Godo deck that has a bunch of artifacts in it already, you might be able to get some good play out of him. I might try him in my All Dragon EDH deck. I want him to be good, but he's not. Let's put him over here by a Spark Troopers in the I want you to be good pile. Okay, we're on to the packs that come with the die here. It looks like we got a Simic die, which I'm happy about. This is a green-blue die. It tells me who all the Planeswalkers are. Just in case I didn't know. That's really nice. That's good for new players. Explains the play area and how to play. Fat packs are definitely aimed at new players. I like the idea, though. They have these really cool little these boxes. I think you can actually fit like 4 decks into one of these boxes. Maybe 5. I think the boxes are the best part. 4 decks. No problem. 1/1 counter on it gets trample. Legionnaire Loyalist. I actually really like this guy in the aggro deck. A 1/1 for 1 with haste is not terrible, but the battalion ability here is really good. Whenever Legionnaire Loyalist and 2 other creatures attack, creatures you control gain first strike and trample until end of turn, and can't be blocked by token creatures. So it stops things like Lingering Souls. It's great against a populate deck. It really speeds your deck up, and it can activate Battalion out of nowhere. I really like this guy in Limited. Maybe it's that I just like the aggro decks currently in the environment in Limited. Alms Beast. 4 casting costs for a 6/6 with the absolute worst ability out there. Well, not the worst. I know there are cards with worse abilities, but whenever he's blocked or blocking, creatures blocking or blocks it. Wow, I can't even say it. They get lifelink. It hurts me to think about giving lifelink to your opponent's creatures.
What do they need life for?
one should be killed. 3 more. Almost there. Come on, foil Orzhov. Or not Orzhov. Godless Shrine. Foil Godless Shrine. Come on, we can do it. Ooze Flux. And then a foil Pit Fight. Is that my rare again? Nope, Ooze Flux is rare. Foil Pit Fight. Not so good. 2 casting cost. At least it's an instance. I might actually choose it as a 4th or 5th pick in limited. 2 more packs. Let's get something amazing. Although I'm not unhappy. I mean, both a Godless Shrine and an Aurelia's Fury, I started out really good. Fat Pack has not been my friend today. Maybe I shouldn't do fat packs. I might have picked up some fat packs. Other story. Okay. Let's see what we've got here. Smog Elemental. Unexpected results. Hella fun card. No good, but really fun. If it works, it's amazing. Put it in your fun deck. Woohoo! 1 pack left. See if I can figure out what's in this pack. Prime Speaker Zagana. Only got like a 1 in 45 chance. I wonder how many times I could reshoot this until I get a Prime Speaker. Stops people from doing board wipes. Not that bad limited card at all. I like this card. Guardian of the Gateless. 3/3, 5 casting cost. Whenever Guardian of the Gateless blocks, it gets +1/+1 till end of turn for each creature it's blocking, which goes with the ability that it can block any number of creatures, and it has flying. Okay, so it stops Lingering Souls. In limited, it's an okay card. I would never put this in a constructed deck. Let's see what this next card is. Oh, it was gold, and it was in the rare spot. I was so hoping it was going to be a Prime Speaker. It's a Foundry Champion. Really? A 4/4 for 6? Yeah, I'd probably play this guy in limited, but I'm not happy about getting him overall. So, got a land to go with it. Our highlights so far, absolute best packs, were Godless Shrine. Regular, not foil. Oh, I would have been so happy to get a foil. Anybody has an Italian foil Godless Shrine, let me know. I'm willing to trade for it well. Aurelia's Fury. Maybe an honorable mention to the Hellkite, which I wish was good, but it's not. Good pack so far. Next time I'll be doing Return from Ravnica. Thanks. This has been Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech with the Gatecrash pack Crackening.
They can crack any
Pack.
and get inside any
Starter deck.
Hello? Mr. Gill, according to our records, you're dead.
I'm what? No,
You're not good enough to beat me.
Yeah, maybe I'm not.
But we are.
They're the
Pack Crackers.